Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host Red. Got video today from OliviaAlexa.
Hi guys, something shifted quietly over the last few years, and most women felt it before they even had any type of title or language for it. What was that? Men stopped chasing, men stopped explaining, men stopped reacting, and women hated the silence that followed. No moment.
Women hate silence, right? Silence is peace. Women hate peace, and women hate it when men don't talk. When men are just quiet, going about our day, smiling, happy to ourselves, doing our own thing, it really upsets women because they think we can only be happy with them.
Where men gathered and agreed on everything, it happened quietly. These were inside men who got tired of bleeding leverage and over-giving, over-explaining, and staying emotionally vulnerable long after respect disappeared. And
the over-giving part is the bigger part, right? We don't, it's not technically over-giving, it's just giving. But when you give and don't receive anything back, then technically, yeah, now it's over-giving because you give what you reciprocate. And obviously, there's barely any reciprocation from women. So yeah, men just genuinely overgive all the time.
What I've noticed is that the shift didn't start with confidence. It started with boundaries first. Quiet ones, unannounced ones, boundaries that didn't ask for permission. Men essentially became harder to move. Their reaction slowed. They stopped feeling the need to shift and adjust for other people. That single adjustment disrupted the entire dynamic between men and women. Now,
look at society nowadays. Men do not help out women almost whatsoever on almost every scenario, of just heavy things needing to get picked up to women needing to be saved from danger.
You're already feeling this tension. If women have started acting irritated, confused, or insecure when you don't engage the way you used to, it's because the access they relied on quietly disappeared. And the vast majority of men were never taught how to remove access without sounding defensive, distant, or apologetic. They either over-explain their standards or they completely disappear. But both collapse leverage, and this is where a lot of guys mess it up. They either swing too far or not enough, but the middle ground is what changes everything. For a long time, men were trained to believe that power came from pursuit, from effort, from availability, from emotional transparency when women demanded it. Show interest early, clarify intentions.
That's what used to work. That's how the system was kind of built back in the day. You showed these things and you kind of got rewarded for it. Now you show these things, you get used and abused.
Explain yourself, validate feelings immediately, but that framework collapsed because men became very selective. Here's the weak belief that had to die. Men were taught that if they gave enough reassurance, consistency, patience, the outcome would stabilize, but it didn't. It never did. What actually happens is attention without standards creates entitlement. So when men stopped over-giving, the emotional economy shifted and power returned through absence. Now,
there's still a lot of attention out there. When you look at the OnlyFans industry and corn industry, those people still are making massive amounts of money. But I think a lot of normal men out there, average, regular, degular, us men, just had enough. We don't want to give attention anymore. We don't like Instagram posts. We're probably hardly on Instagram anymore. We don't give attention to all of these thoughts. We don't even want to give attention to ourselves in a sense. We don't even want to pursue or advertise to women that we want women, right? That's how much we want to protect ourselves.
When I say absence, I'm not talking about ghosting or disappearing. I'm talking about the absence of reactivity, the absence of emotional negotiation, the absence of chasing women. Women felt something so unfamiliar, loss of control. When a woman pulls back slightly, she expects you to chase. She expects reassurance. She expects explanation. But now instead, nothing happens. No argument, no anxiety, no chasing. And that silence does something. Predictability disappears. The dynamic destabilizes. That's when she starts reaching out again, and that's when she starts escalating the emotions. There's power in removing your presence. And because of that, a lot of guys have now leaned into restraint. That's the first shift. Men quietly took their power back by refusing to emotionally negotiate. Here's the truth.
It's just the power to walk away. The Godfather says it a lot. This is how it always instilled into me. The power to leave a situation. I don't think very many people have that ability. They either keep themselves there because they think they need to be there or whatever, but the ability to walk away and just let things go is the greatest power we have.
Most attraction collapses the moment a man starts explaining himself. Long texts, clarifications, defensive language, over communicating intentions. From what I've seen, the men who stay composed instead of reactive flips the entire dynamic without even having to say a word. This plays out when a woman drops something loaded, a jab at you, a test, a passive comment that's designed to pull a reaction from you. The old behavior was reassurance, softening, justifying, but the new behavior is stillness. He hears it, but he doesn't flinch and he doesn't rush to fix it. When she introduces a level of emotional tension, you just let it sit. You keep your tone level. You stay focused on what you are already doing. Silence forces her to process her own behavior instead of feeding off of yours. Here's the second shift this happens. When access is guaranteed, value collapses. Men stopped exceeding effort. They matched it. You'll notice it because this is where irritation shows up. I'm not talking about
Yeah, the bare minimum. A lot of men just do the bare minimum. And I don't even hate on men for doing the bare minimum because they know that still gets them what they need.
Anger, irritation, because irritation signals a loss of influence. Let me give you guys an example. She takes hours to respond, but he doesn't comment on it. He doesn't mirror with sarcasm. He doesn't escalate it. He responds later with the same grounded, calm tone. No punishment, no arrogance. You have to stop rewarding inconsistency with consistency. You let the rhythm reveal interest. Another way men took their power back is by detaching from the outcomes. This one unsettles women the most. Men used to attach identity to outcomes. If she stayed, they felt chosen. If she pulled away, they felt devastated. That attachment was visible. Women felt it immediately. When a man becomes outcome neutral, it forces her behavior to shift because outcome neutral men don't have to negotiate attraction. This dynamic tends to play out when a woman hints at leaving. She might mention other options. She might create distance to provoke reassurance. The old behavior was panic disguised as confidence, but the new behavior is indifference without hostility, meaning that he doesn't argue or persuade. He doesn't
We don't
defend.
care.
He just
We say it all the time. We just don't care anymore.
continues living his life. You have to emotionally prepare to lose her before she ever threatens. Now, I'm not telling you guys to numb yourself, but I'm telling you guys to prioritize your structure over her reactions, so you're never caught off guard. Another way men took their power back is they became hard to manipulate. This is where frustration shows up because manipulation
Gaslighting,
feeds
shaming
on
doesn't work
emotional
anymore.
variability. High highs, low lows, predictable reaction. When a man becomes focused and steady, there's absolutely nothing to pull on, so she gets bored. Women tend to label this emotional distance, but it's not. It's emotional regulation. I'm gonna give you guys an example. She might get super emotional about something. You listen, but you don't mirror. You don't absorb it. You respond once clearly and then you disengage. You don't rehash. You don't revisit. You don't go on and on and on about things, and you don't chase closure. That teaches people that your time carries weight. This shows up a lot of times in long-term dynamics. A woman becomes used to being the emotional backbone. Her moods dictate the interaction. Her reactions set the pace. Then the man.
I mean, how often is it women's emotions dictate how well your day's gonna be, right? If they have a bad day, they're about to ruin your day too.
And changes. He stops rewarding this. He stays focused. He withdraws his attention from negativity and drama. She escalates, then softens, then reaches. But the man doesn't celebrate the reach. He receives it naturally because authority resolves this dynamic. There's no conversation that's needed. There's no ultimatum that's needed. And that's real power. Let me be honest with you. Women didn't lose power because men became better. They lost power because men became less reactive. Reactivity was the leverage women had. Men who are able.
It really was, right? Because we were very reactive, right? Because we weren't used to understanding women. We weren't used to seeing the true nature of women.
To hold this frame are not rare because of looks or status. They're rare because they don't need emotional outcomes to stabilize and confirm their identity. That's why women test harder. That's why they complain about emotional distance, because they feel that shift. This video shows you the surface level behavior. The structure underneath is what holds it long term. What I just showed you was a few behavior shifts, but my book goes way deeper than that. It walks you through how to build this type of composure across dating, conflict, silence, and even long-term relationships. Not just how to stop reacting, but how to instead of just trying to recover it.
We've been saying it, men. Hold the line. Women are just screwing themselves and getting depressed and sad over their own choices. Why? Because men walked away, and we walked away in mass. They feel it. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. See you guys next time.